welcome back to another episode of Boss Up and Glow Up with Lexi Sample. I'm your girl. So, today I want to dive into a pretty deep topic, but first, I just want to give you a little update. I just got back from spending 2 weeks in Greece. I got back yesterday. So, I'm filming today for Friday because I always post on Fridays, but I just wanted to give you a little trip recap. If you're not interested in the trip recap, you can just skip it. But it was so much fun, you guys. I went on a solo trip, but I went with like a group. So it was like a group of solo travelers, and it was so much fun. I made so many great friends from all over the world, not all over the world, but all over the US. And it was just so freaking cool. I did something like this back last May, but Greece was stunning. The water was just breathtaking, and I loved it. But I'm back. I'm still kind of like tired and groggy because I haven't fully adjusted to the time change. I went to work at the hospital today, and I just got back from the hospital, and I wanted to make sure I got a podcast episode up for you guys. So I am working, okay, y'all? But anyway, let's dive into today's topic. So grab your bevy, grab a snack, because this episode is for anyone who's ever asked these questions. Why didn't they choose me? Why did they leave me? Why didn't I get the job? Why did they overlook me, pass me up, ghost me, not answer my text messages, or sleep on me? And I'm here to remind you of something very sacred and powerful, okay? You don't need to be chosen to be valuable. You don't need a title. You don't need a ring. You don't need a huge following on social media. You don't need a blue check mark. You don't need an applause from other people to mean something, okay? Your value is not based on who sees it. It's based on who gave it. And baby, that's the universe. That is God. That is your parents. That is not these people that you're seeking validation from, okay? You don't need those applause from anyone other than yourself. Let's be honest. Being overlooked hurts. It hurts so bad sometimes. Have you ever gone on a date and you felt like it went really freaking well, but then you haven't really heard from that person and you kind of feel rejected and that they ghosted you, but that it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes they're just not ready for commitment, or they're just in a different place than you. And you never know their true intentions. So I don't think you should take it personally. Have you ever not gotten a promotion at your job that you were busting your ass for, and you saw somebody else get that promotion that you were busting your ass for, and you were doing everything you needed to do? You were going above and beyond for your company, your employees, or whatever, and you didn't get that promotion? It stings. However, rejection is an event. It is not a reflection of you. Sometimes you need that rejection, and there's a reason for it. I believe that everything happens for a reason. There is a reason that thing was not meant for you. If someone is not meant to be in your life, the universe is going to make sure that person is not in your life. If a job doesn't serve you long term, you're not going to get that promotion because the universe thinks you can do better. You have something better waiting for you. So rejection is just an event for that next step. So don't think it has anything to do with your worth, because it does not. We tend to internalize rejection like it means we're not good enough. And that is not the case, because we are making someone else's no the evidence that we're unlovable or unwanted or unworthy. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. Why are we letting other people's opinions say anything about our worth? No, no, no. We can't do that anymore. Their inability to see your value doesn't make it disappear. Just because someone doesn't see or recognize the value that you hold doesn't mean you're not worth anything. This person just doesn't know. And you want to know something? Think about it this way. This is something I love saying because I feel like it really puts things into perspective, okay? So let's say someone walks past a diamond and they don't know the value of a diamond and they just ignore it, walk past it, think it's a rock, but it's really a diamond worth millions and millions of dollars. They didn't realize what that was worth. So that really means they just weren't qualified to hold that value. Hmm. Now, when you put it like that, doesn't that make you realize you are worth more than people are giving you credit for? You're a diamond, and people are mistaking you for a rock, and that is okay. Not everyone is smart enough to see your value, honestly. So don't let them have that effect on you. Rejection isn't always a redirection, sometimes it's protection. Like I mentioned, if the universe thinks that something else is better for you in your life, it is going to make sure you are out of the situation that is no longer serving you. Because sometimes you don't realize certain things aren't serving you anymore. You're just in it because you care about these people or whatever the case may be. But if people aren't seeing your true value, you gotta walk away. The universe is protecting you from something, and maybe it is that person. Because if they truly were meant to be in your life, they would see your value. Just because they didn't choose you doesn't mean that you don't hold any value. They're just not qualified enough to see your value. Understand? Let's talk about the ache because, damn, sometimes this can hurt. That deep, unspoken pain of not being picked or chosen, it often starts young. A lot of things you feel in your adulthood stems from childhood. And it could be that parent who favors your other sibling or that friend group who constantly leaves you out. If you're ever in a group of three, you all know that there's two people that kind of leave one person out and they're always like the backup friend when one's busy. If you've ever been in a group of three, I know you know what I'm talking about. Or that first love who left you for someone else, whether it's honestly your first love or someone just left you for someone else or cheated on me, you don't feel like you're enough. Or the boss who promoted someone who didn't work half as hard as you. We have all experienced something like this at least once in their lives. I've experienced it a lot. Not a lot, I don't want to say, but a few of those scenarios. For example, let's get deep for a second. My father favored my younger sister over me, and he was insane. He was a very abusive father and all that. We've talked about this before, so I don't really need to go in full detail about that, but he was very abusive towards me. But he wasn't so much abusive to my sister in a physical sense. However, he did say a lot of harsh words to her. She was a lot more sensitive than me, and the words really affected her. Honestly, I feel like the words affected her worse than the physical abuse affected me, if that makes sense, but only because we're just two different kinds of people. But I noticed he wasn't as physical with her as he was with me and my mom. So I'm like, does he like her better or like what's the deal? So I've kind of had experience with that and I felt like there was some favoritism, but maybe there wasn't because emotional abuse is honestly just as bad as physical abuse. But as a child, that's kind of how I felt. So I'm not saying that's accurate, that's just how I felt. And I've had two boyfriends cheat on me before, and I felt like I wasn't enough because they chose to cheat on me with somebody else. But that doesn't mean I am unworthy. That just means they were just too stupid to see it. I'm sorry, I don't like to call people stupid, but they're dumb. And I haven't really had a situation where someone promoted somebody else that didn't work half as hard, but I know so many people who've been in that situation and it stings because suddenly you're questioning what is wrong with me? Why am I always the backup plan? Why do I feel invisible when I am giving everything? Now, let me say this gently but clearly. There is nothing wrong with you, okay? Sometimes people are too broken to recognize wholeness. Sometimes people want what's familiar, not what's healthy. And I have been there. I promise you. When I am telling you, I was in situations where I would seek men that were similar to my father. I was subconsciously trying to find relationships that were familiar to me. And that's why I kept going for cheaters. I kept going for men who don't treat me good because I was going for what was familiar, not what was healthy. My one ex, he was like an insane rager, insane partier, was always into drugs. Can I say drugs on here? I will. But he found a girl who is into the same thing. And I'm not into drugs. I don't do that stuff. I don't like that. I drink sometimes, but not to that extent. You know what I mean? Like, I have a system. I only will party if it's somebody's birthday, if I'm on vacation, or if it's maybe a holiday or a special occasion. But I'm not about to rage for no reason. I don't need to be on drugs. Like, you know what I mean? So, again, my ex had to find somebody that was familiar to them. He wants to do drugs. He needs to find someone that does drugs. And that sucks to say, but they want what's familiar, not what's healthy. Now, sometimes people are just intimidated by your shine, so they pretend not to see it. And honestly, I agree with that statement to the max. I've had exes and friends who I feel like were a little intimidated by me. So let me talk about, since I already was talking about exes, let me finish off with what I was thinking. I was the breadwinner, not to toot my own horn, hoo toot 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 toot, but I was the one making money and he had no money. And I feel like he was intimidated by me because he felt demasculated, I think, only because he got mad at me for like hustling and like trying to do my thing. He didn't want me to be in school to get my PhD. He didn't want me doing my podcast. He didn't want me doing anything that would better me. So I feel like he was a little intimidated by my success and just wanted to drag me through the mud. Now, let's talk friendships for a second. Have you ever had a friend that anytime something good happens to you, they like kind of say, "Oh, congrats," in like a condescending tone, or when something good happens to you, they get completely silent? They're intimidated by you. They don't want to see you shine. Like, I've had friends like that when, let me try to think of an example. Oh, when my social media started to grow, I had the one friend to be like, "Oh, like that's kind of stupid." And I'm like, "I'm really passionate about it. I actually love doing this. Like, people are starting to really resonate with what I'm doing." And they just kind of made it seem like I was wasting my time and just doing something dumb. But you know what? People have been giving me good feedback about what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm this perfect, amazing person, because no, I'm not. I am the furthest thing from perfect. I have so many flaws, trust me. But I am so passionate about my podcast. I love what I do. I love being able to help people because I am a therapist. I love being able to take my knowledge from my job and my education and bring it to social media because I want to help everyone that I possibly can. I feel like just helping people at work isn't enough when I feel like I can just do so much more. And I had a friend that kind of knocked what I wanted to do. And I just realized they weren't a good friend. That's toxic. They did not want to see me shine. If someone is dulling your sparkle, forget them. Let them. We've talked about the let them theory so many times, and the let them theory really like qualifies for every single thing. And it qualifies for this because this isn't about you, it's about them. So if they're gonna dull your sparkle, let them. You're gonna shine anyway. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. They're gonna be miserable and try to make you feel like what you're doing is stupid. How they're acting is stupid. You don't wanna be around people like that. You don't need that energy at all. Here's the shift that will completely change your life. It's gonna go through a whole 360. You are not valuable because someone chose you. You are valuable because you chose yourself. Your value is inherent, baked into your soul before you ever even had to earn it. Before the breakup, before the rejection, before the silence, stop letting people who don't even know their own worth determine yours. Because 9 times out of 10, people who are trying to judge you, people who are trying to tell you that your worth is beneath anything that it is, they don't know their own worth. Anyone who is a hater and being rude and hating on your life and just judging you, belittling you, they don't know their own worth, because people who know their worth and are high value people do not belittle anyone because they know they're valuable. They know their worth. And if someone knows their worth, they don't let people think that their worth is anything less. Now just stop letting them do that. Your calling isn't on hold until someone validates it. You validate it yourself. The only person who has a say in your value is you at the end of the day. You. Your beauty isn't pending on approval from a man. Your handsomeness, your worth isn't pending on approval from a woman. Your gifts don't need an audience to be real. You don't need anything to tell you your value because you know your worth. And if you think you don't know your worth, you need to listen to this because you are valuable. You are on this earth for a reason. You're not on this earth because you have no value. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a value. So I need you to use this as a wake up call and wake up and realize you are important. You are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose. Stop letting people belittle you because they ain't shit. Let me speak to the person who feels like they're falling behind because no one picked you yet for love, for a job, for a platform, for a partnership. Sometimes the universe will hide you on purpose to protect you while it builds you. Think about that again. You think you're being delayed, but you're actually being developed. You think you're being ignored, but you're really being preserved. These things are blessings attached to you that are too precious to be handed out prematurely. So if no one's clapping for you right now, clap for yourself. Sit down right now and just give yourself a round of applause. Clap for yourself with me. If no one sees you yet, keep showing up. And I want to give you an example. So when I first started my podcast and making my videos, did I have a platform? No. Do I love doing this? Absolutely. And people thought I was silly. People are like, why the fuck does Lexi think she's qualified to give people mental health advice? And I'm like, well, guess what, y'all? I got the knowledge. I built this all on my own. No one gave it to me. Like some people get things handed to them. I didn't. I did it all on my own. Clap for me. See? I clap for myself. You can clap for yourself too. But I worked hard and I built what I have by myself, and I am still building it. I'm still putting in the work and trying to grow my career, my podcast, my just everything. And people weren't clapping for me. People were like, oh, she's stupid, she's silly. And people were belittling me because of the career path I had before this, when I kind of got like sucked into a not so great industry, but I completely did a 360 and turned my life around. I went from that to this, and I noticed such a change in my life, and I love who I am today. Even if people think I'm stupid and think what I'm doing is silly, I'm helping people. And I love what I do. So if they think I'm silly, they can shove it because I'm happy. And that's what matters because your value isn't determined by visibility. Your power doesn't decrease in silence. Sometimes your glow up is private and then it goes public. That's amazing. Sometimes you're going to have a little private glow up before people start to recognize it. And I honestly feel like that happened to me. I was so depressed at one point and I just lost myself. I could not figure out who I was anymore. And I feel like I completely did a 360 before people started noticing online and stuff. Like, no one could tell I was better until one day everyone just realized that I am better. I am doing so much better. I am amazing. So sometimes things are just going to happen in private before it goes public, and that is totally fine. And that's honestly amazing. Not everything needs to be public. As long as you recognize yourself, your improvement, and your worth, that's all that matters. That is all that matters. Let's talk about some real life practices to help you stop trying to have your value be chosen. Okay, I love my affirmations. You need to give yourself affirmations daily. Okay, don't wait for a compliment. Do not wait on someone to give you a compliment. You can be your own hype man, hype woman, hype yourself up. Say things like, I am valuable, even when unseen. My presence is powerful. I don't chase, I attract what's aligned. Detach from outcomes. Don't let one person's opinion dictate your entire mood because that is just going to ruin your entire day. You can give the no, but don't worship it. Scratch that. I meant to say you can grieve the no, but don't worship it. There is always something better, and it is on the way. Now, create from your soul, not for applause. Do not do that. Do not wait for someone else to clap for you. No, no, no. Post the content, start the business, write the blog, do it for you. not the crowd, because it's not going to be successful if you are doing it just to please other people. It's going to be successful because you love it, you are passionate about it. It is for you, not for others. Surround yourself with mirrors, not magnifying glasses. Okay. And what that means is be around people who reflect your light, not ones who nitpick your flaws or make you feel like you have to earn love or that make you feel like you're not enough. Don't do that. These are some things you can do in your life that can make things so much better. And they're just such simple practices too. And it's a lot. Like you don't even think about it daily. But if you just switch your mindset real quick, you will be fine. You don't need to be chosen to see your value. Okay, let's wrap up today's episode with some affirmations and a little soul check. So here is the affirmation of the week. I don't need to be chosen to be valuable. I already am. I walk in it. I breathe in it. I glow in it. And I no longer chase validation. I live from a place of knowing who the fuck I am. Okay? If no one has told you this lately, let me say it now. And I want this to stick in your brain, be engraved in your brain forever. You are enough, with or without a title. You are worthy, even when no one else sees it. You are seen, even when it's quiet. You are valuable, especially when it feels like no one is noticing it or clapping for you. Don't wait to be chosen. You're already called, you're already equipped, and you're already walking in purpose, even if it doesn't look like it yet. Please let that stick in your brain. Engrave it in your brain. Write those down and stick it on your mirror. I want you to say that every single morning. I want to thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and I really hope this stuck with you in your brain a little bit, because a lot of people feel like they're not valuable because someone didn't choose them, and every single person has gone through it. It's not about you. It's about somebody else, because you are valuable, you are amazing, you are worthy. Everyone has gone through this. Everyone has had somebody not choose them. So it has nothing to do with you. Please don't take it personal. Thank you so much for listening. I love you so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you practice these affirmations. I love you. Bye.